When I am coaching, most of the time, when I'm coaching leaders, I see that the leaders kind of don't know how to react in different situations and what type of a leadership style they need to adapt. And one of the biggest problems that I foresee is they're not flexible enough with their styles. And we all know the great leaders are flexible. Yes, of course, they need to know what they stand for. They need to be clear about their leadership vision, how they want to be perceived. They need to be clear about their values and what they want to create. But within that frame, there is still a room for flexibility, right? And the Daniel Goleman leadership styles always help me to tell them that they can still be themselves, but adopt different styles in different situations. When we look at the Daniel Goleman's leadership styles, he came up with this research and the article back in 2000. And it was an HBR article. It became very popular right after it was published. And since then, it is one of the dominant leadership styles theory. And he came up with these 6 different leadership styles. One, commanding. The first name for the commanding was persuasive, but they changed some of the names over time because of the perception of the names. The second one was visionary. The third one was affiliative. And the fourth one was participative. Again, the old name was democratic, but wasn't perceived very well because of the word itself. And then 5th is pace setting, and the 6th is coaching. So I know because most of us are coaches, and the word coaching or the profession of coaching is very popular, and it is being perceived like the coaching is the best way to lead people. But actually, it is just a style, and it is one of these 6 styles. And what they came up with is like commanding is having the directive style, like do as I say, right? Giving directions. Visionary is inspiring leadership, setting the direction for the future, but also inspiring others and helping, convincing them to come with them. And then affiliative is more about being a team player, like trying to create harmony within the team, whereas participative is about going and asking for others' opinions, so being more inclusive. And pace setting is setting high standards, meeting exceptional goals, but also expecting the same from others. And the coaching, as we know, is about developing others and also helping others to get what they want, which is also aligned with the organizations and companies' goals. In my coaching sessions, I briefly introduce this model. The moment that I introduce this kind of a model, they come up with like, okay, I see myself, all right? They recognize their go-to style. And even if they don't, I ask a question like, okay, where do you see yourself from operating most of the time? It's not just about teaching or showing the model, but it is also about asking questions that is relevant with them and with the model. Some of the questions that I ask is like, where do you see yourself? What is your go-to style? If they haven't already said it, right? And then, of course, it is not just asking it. It is also understanding the motivation behind it, right? How that style is working for them. What are the beliefs and values that they hold that make them to go that and use that style? Maybe they're not aware of their values or their beliefs, or maybe they learned it from the previous leaders, role models, or even it might be coming from parents. And the follow-up question is most of the time from my end is, okay, what is the impact of that style on your team, in the organization as well? Because when you look at these different styles, you see here overall impact on the climate. So if you, for example, use the commanding style quite often and frequently, then it has a negative impact in the organization, in the system, on the team as well. Same for pace setting. And if you are using it, again, frequently, it has a negative impact. You see like visionary, most strongly positive, affiliative or participative or coaching, they are positive as well. But just because they are positive, it doesn't mean that you always use those styles, because you need to look at the situation, weigh the situation, and be flexible and decide which style to use. Sometimes I challenge them, okay, you think that your style is this. What do you think the others perceive you as? Right? What are the team members or individuals' perception of you? Would they say the same thing about you? Like to create different perspectives and level of awareness. And at the same time, I follow up with questions like, okay, where do you think there is a room for improvement? Yeah. Or if they're coming up with a specific relationship issue with a team member, I, of course, frame the question like how these leadership styles can help you with your relationship with this employee? Or maybe which style are you adopting more when you're leading this person? Which other styles do you think can be more helpful? And it is not always the positive ones. Sometimes they come up with like, I don't think I'm being pace setter. I think I need to challenge this employee more. Set high expectations. I've been doing the affiliative style for a very long time within this team. And that is, maybe they say, that is how I lost my authority over the team. Right? It is about identifying where they are, identifying what are the motivations behind that leadership style, that go-to style. And also, as always, there's a balance, how that style serves them, limits them. And the next question is, or the next step is, to get them understand, okay, how they can start flexing their style, which one of these styles would be more useful in that specific situation. And also, we don't want them to be unauthentic when they're adopting a new style, right? The questions that I ask to them is more about, okay, what about your values? Let's say if they say, I want to be more visionary, or I want to be more participative. Okay, how does that sit with your values? Which one of your values, which one of your strengths, which one of your beliefs can support you as you are being more participative? Once it is rooted, then we start with asking about steps, next steps. Sometimes I challenge them, and sometimes I ask about 3 bold steps that they can take. But sometimes I say, what is the easiest step? It all depends on your coachee, right? You know your coachee the best, if it is the right time to challenge them or not.